sacred sound. Woven into the language of life. Stirring in your very atoms. The sound behind all sounds. Infinite ways to receive its blessings. Sing Hugh with an open heart. Look and listen. For the love that returns to you. Love is love. And you are that. Hugh is the sound of soul.
Was a follower of the Church of Scientology for 3 years, and that he actually reached the state of spiritual enlightenment, or clear. Clear is the spiritual goal of all Scientologists, where one has erased his active mind and is now totally alert and capable. Paul Twitchell even taught some of the followers of the church how to do astral projection, which Ron Hubbard himself had a hard time teaching.
Take the book out, the new 67 edition of Paul Twitchell's Far Country, and you take out a book, Path of the Masters by Julian Johnson in 1939, not a line has been changed.
Copied it exactly.
Word for word. It was midday, I was teaching at the university, and I come back and the whole place is totally ransacked. I mean, bookshelves thrown over, beds upturned, everything's gone. And the only thing they took were my research files. Every article I'd written, all my research stuff.
Eck is poison for anyone who doesn't comply, and even if you do comply, you may end up being poisoned. Thank you.
Surviving the cult, Eckankar. And this is why it is so important that I speak out about this cult today.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Why, hello everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you're all having a fabulous, amazing, wonderful, wonderful day today. We are going to be talking about Eckankar. That is right. The cult of Eckankar, which a lot of people are still not willing to call it a cult, and that's okay. I understand that that can be a hard thing to do, but don't worry. I have all the proof for you. Let's just get right into it. So, Eckankar bills itself as a religion of the light and sound of God. But in practice, it's more like a spiritual remix factory with a heavy dose of brand management. Founded in 1965 by Paul Twitchell, who critics note borrowed liberally from Sikh and Saint Mat traditions, it promises followers direct access to the divine through chanting Hugh and practicing soul travel. At the center sits the living Eckmaster, who is currently Harold Klemp, whose authority is framed as both cosmic and unquestionable. The group's glossy Temple of Eck in Minnesota doubles as a pilgrimage site and PR backdrop, reinforcing the image of a global spiritual empire. To outsiders, it can look like a patchwork of plagiarized mysticism wrapped in corporate-style hierarchy. And to insiders, it's marketed as the only true path to spiritual freedom. The irony, of course, is that a movement claiming to liberate the soul often ends up tightening control over the lives, language, and loyalties of its members. For those who are new here, hello, my name is Beth, or Queen of Karma, and I'm a whistleblower and consumer advocate. On this channel, I deep dive multi-level marketing companies, cults, and other high control groups. I've been covering Eckankar on this channel for going on a few years now. And over that time, we've gone deep reading through almost all of Harold Klem's books together. I've read many of them to you. And I have personally read the entire catalog of Eckankar publications. That's right, I've even read all of Paul Twitchell's books. I've also watched and reacted to many of their official teachings and materials, and I'm also working on my own book about this cult, so stay tuned for that. So this isn't a surface level critique. It's been a long-term project of examining their doctrines, their leadership, and the way their messaging operates. My goal has always been to give you not just commentary, but a well-rounded, evidence-based look at how this group, or any group that I cover, presents itself versus how it actually functions. So if you are new to Eckankar, Eckists, the followers of Eckankar, believe that each person is a soul on a journey back to God. It's very Scientology, as the creator, Paul Twitchell, worked himself up to clear in Scientology. It is guided by the light and sound of God. Their core practice is chanting the word Hugh, which they describe as a sacred sound that opens spiritual awareness. They emphasize soul travel, which, I mean, that sounds fun and everything, now doesn't it? But what is soul travel? Well, it's the idea that the soul can consciously leave the body and explore higher planes of existence. Reincarnation and karma are central, hence my name change, with the promise that through Eckankar's teachings, one can break free from the cycle of rebirth. Because again, they believe, you're doing reincarnation until you become godly, right? So at the top of the movement is the living Eck master, currently Harold Klem, who is seen not just as a teacher, but as a spiritual guide, a guru, and he has unique authority. Eckankar presents itself as a universal path to spiritual freedom. Sound familiar? But critics such as myself point out that its glossy messaging often masks a rigid hierarchy and heavy control over members' spiritual lives, as I personally feel a lot of these spiritualities that have gurus do. You'll notice a theme on my channel. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on Eckankar's propaganda machine. Its polished commercials, glossy ads, and the gleaming temple they showcase as a spiritual centerpiece. Beyond the surface shine, I'll also take you inside their official journal. Yeah, they have a journal. And that reveals just how deeply the messaging and control run through every layer of the movement. But we're going to do it in a funny, fun way. I like to use a lot of humor on my channel because learning about coercive control tactics, manipulations, and abuse can get quite dark. And if we don't laugh through the learning, then we cry. No, seriously, I'll cry. I'll cry a lot. I don't think anyone wants to watch that. So without further ado, let's just get into these damn ads, all right? I'll stop blabbing. These ads are a mixture of television and online advertising. We aren't going through them in any particular order. I'm sorry. I didn't have time to make sure that they were in any kind of order. We're chilling out today. We're relaxing. And we're just going to kind of go on a journey through the propaganda machine, if you will. These ads are all different lengths. We have short ones that are 19 seconds long, all the way to 5-minute ads, if you will. So let's do the thing, shall we? Alrighty. Eckankar. Ad number 1.
Spiritual experiences. Have you had one?
There's a purpose for everything.
It's that aha moment saying, oh, this makes sense. I know why now.
This spiritual thing is real. It must be real.
Get it.
I am working on an article right now that is actually going to go into the neuroscience, sociology, psychology, and philosophy of why people think that prayer, chanting Hugh, these repetitive things work, and how it's actually just your brain chemistry kind of tricking you. So stay tuned for that.
Answers to your deepest spiritual questions. For your free Spiritual Experiences Guidebook from Eckankar, call 1-888-LOVE-GOD.
1-888-LOVE-GOD. That's the phone number. 1-888-LOVE-GOD.
Or visit spiritualexperience.org.
Spiritual experience is just like so general to me.
That's 1-888-LOVE-GOD.
Oh, Lord. So yeah, we've gone through that book, by the way. I've read the entire thing to you, and we deep dove it. It's the same book that they send. It didn't change much from Paul Twitchell's version to Harold Klempe's version either. So that's quite interesting, if you will. You know, you got another one. Ready to discover your highest truth. And explore your spirituality from a new perspective? Like on the back of an eagle? That's quite a perspective, isn't it? Raise your spiritual IQ. They're all about that. Free event series. The highest truth is not written in any book. It's written in your heart. Kind of funny coming from a cult that's all about you reading their books. Like, they're like, yeah, no, like, call 1-800-LOVE-GOD for your free books. That's where the truth is written. You know, it's Paul Twitchell and Harold Klempe's truth, allegedly. It's all plagiarized. We've gone through David C. Lane's stuff. Don't worry. I've done my due diligence on this. But I love this. They're like, it's not written in a book. But still, please get our books. I swear there's some truth written in there. Maybe it's just not the highest truth. Hello, Ninja. Good to see you. A bald eagle. That's right. Yeah, buy my books, but you don't need it. Pretty much. Pretty much, right? It's written in your heart. Oh, yay, guys. We're invited. Are you excited? Woohoo! Share experiences with open-hearted individuals like you. Come hang out with the other cult members. We're all brainwashed here, you know? Receive a free experience journal. Explore doorways for higher awareness. By the way, I have the experience journal, and we will be going through it in this stream. It's quite short, and it will be really easy for us to read through. I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's highly promoted. Unlock your own spiritual insights. And you'll see why that's funny if they're saying that you can use their journal to do that once we go through it. Go beyond meditation. With easy spiritual exercises. I mean, they are pretty easy. I will give them that. You know, they're not like stand on your head, twirl around 3 times while you're singing you. So at least there's that. Discover your unique dream symbols, right? Because they're all about Dream travel is basically the soul travel. It happens while you're sleeping. I think they're all just dreaming, but they claim that their souls are leaving their bodies and like going into spiritual planes. You know, that's how they interpret it. So while you're doing this, they also have like unique dream symbols, you know, all this other stuff, of course, that you're supposed to interpret on your soul journey while you're soul traveling to these planes. You know, think Scientology meets Hare Krishna. And you kind of get Eckankar. You got some Saint Matt script thrown in there. You know, a lot of Hinduism mixed in with Scientology. A lawn sprinkler. I had a dream with one of them last night. Ah, Joe, maybe you just soul traveled to today during the live stream. Imagine being like, my unique dream symbol is an iguana. What does that mean? Because it's supposed to, as you can see, help you better understand your life. You're like, oh no, there's mountains. Does this mean I'm going to join another pyramid scheme? Connect with your highest self using powerful spiritual tools, which again is mainly their books and singing you. Soul travel. Dream interpretation. All are welcome. Come as you are, as you were. I don't think that Kurt Cobain would have been down with this, but all are welcome. And the big thing that Eckankar does is they say you don't have to switch your religion. You can be Buddhist and be Eck, an Eckist. You can stay Catholic, but then be an Eckist. Heck, you can be an Hare Krishna and be an Eckist. You don't have to change your spiritual beliefs. You just have to add Eckankar onto them. So, like, while you're doing your usual prayers and however you practice your spirituality, you are also, on top of that, supposed to be doing the stuff that they tell you to do, like chanting you several times a day and doing soul travel and whatnot. Everyone's invited. Raise your spiritual IQ. Register or drop in. Yeah, you know, drop into one of their temples. I bet you there are several of them near you. And if you look up Eckankar on your Google Maps, I almost guarantee that at least one will pop up. I guarantee that. So that was a fun ad. Here's a good old school one.
Had a near-death or out-of-body experience?
Like, excuse me? Excuse me? We're off to a rough start, let me tell you.
Have you ever had a near-death or out-of-body experience?
Have you ever almost died? That's what that was. Have you ever almost died? Or nearly died? You know? Had an out-of-body experience? Well, you experienced Eckankar.
Have you ever had a near-death or out-of-body experience?
A dream with a departed loved one.
The sense
this poor kid.
That you lived before.
A voice within that guides you.
An experience with an inner light or an inner sound.
Yeah, do you have a conscious, you know, that's actually Paul Twitchell talking to you from the grave.
Are you ready to awaken the memories of your past lives?
For voyages into your inner worlds.
Are you ready to find out what your experiences really mean?
To go beyond faith to direct spiritual experience.
Come join us for the 2007 Conference on Spiritual Experiences.
Yep, the 2007 Conference on Spiritual Experiences.
Afternoon of workshops.
That sounds like a scam, doesn't it? One more time, just because it's short.
Have you ever had a near-death or out-of-body experience?
A dream with a departed loved one.
The sense that you lived before?
A voice within that guides you.
An experience with an inner light or an inner sound.
Are you ready to awaken the memories of your past lives?
For voyages into your inner worlds.
Are you ready to find out what your experiences really mean?
To go beyond faith to direct spiritual experience.
Come join us for the 2007 Conference on Spiritual Experiences for an afternoon of
Spiritual
workshops.
experiences. It just sounds so funny. Come join us for our conference on spiritual experiences. Again, this is so general. So general. It could be anything. You can call anything a spiritual experience. This one is called Be Yourself. A true spiritual path. My definition of a true spiritual path. And Joe says, my past lives can stay in the past. It's okay. We don't need to bring them into this one. Like, is one that does good. It's one that does good. Do you does good? Awesome. In the world. It tries to find ways. When it doesn't find them, it just tries to. Well, to try harder. To help people. Be themselves. Yes, that's what you do in a cult. You give people individuality. That was sarcasm. It does not try to shape people. Be what we think they should be. What's wrong with empowering people? Can we just empower people to be the best versions of themselves? You know, without trying to get something out of them for it. What happened to doing that? Then break spiritual or man-made laws to accomplish that. This got dark. Breaking laws for criminals. The sign of a true spiritual path. It's a rainbow? Oh God, the Christians aren't going to like that. Is that it helps the people grow. It's like so generic. Become more godlike. To be capable of more love and mercy. This almost looks like a video I would make to parody on Passive. For themselves as well as others. As for others, sorry. As soul, you are free. Just, make sure you sing Hugh in the morning, the afternoon, at nighttime. Try to practice some soul travel a couple times a day. Fill out the journal daily if you can. But other than that, you're free. We promise. Discover Eckankar, the path of spiritual freedom. Not at all stolen from Scientology. Eckankar.org. At least this one is just for the website, I mean, what more could we expect? Very, very propaganda-y. We got the tranquil music, Come join us. We're this peaceful, nice spirituality. We accept everyone. It's wonderful here, Hugh, Hugh, Hugh. A lot of Hugh. Although not as much as you would think. It's not in every ad, which I was actually expecting. Not every ad brings it up or shows us that them singing Hugh. which is something that I was kind of expecting going into this. You know, when I started collecting these, one of the first ones I collected is the one from my intro, which is about you. So I was like, oh God, all of these are probably going to mention it, but they actually really don't. Hello, Baron. Good to see you. Like, it's not used as much as you would think. Although it is like their main way of worshiping, practicing, if you will. You know? This one is called Looking for Truth. And then I put it in brackets, won't find it here. Looking for truth? Get answers! Free book! Yeah, free books! Eckankar.org. 800 Love God. It's always Love God. You know, the number changes slightly, 1-800 versus 1-888, because at some point we did a switch from 1-800 to 888, right? Like a lot of organizations and fun, like a lot of these places did. I think they just switched the number. It used to be 1-800. They just made it 888 instead. But it's always Love God. So you get a free book. Free book, yay! Can't wait. And always with the eagle. They really love the eagles. Looking for truth. Get answers. So you could have done 2 commercials. One of it could have said, looking for truth, find it here. And then you could have said, got questions, get answers. Yeah. You're welcome for that idea, by the way. You could go ahead and use that. I feel like it's like 2 things stitched together, you know, for one really short ad. And that's the funny thing. A lot of these are super duper short. But they're constantly streaming. As a lot of these cults are. So, of course, these extra short ads kind of play in between their other content. They have a lot of videos. A lot of videos of Harold Klepp speaking and then other people talking about how great this thing is. You know how cults do. And they have a station that runs 24/7 just kind of playing these propaganda videos on repeat. You know, just like Scientology and all the other ones do. They all have this. And so they have a series of ads that they kind of play in between their little programs. And it's all propaganda, right? It's all just brainwashing. Here's another one that's entitled, Join Us Today.
Have you ever felt that there's an enormous potential within you that you have yet to experience? Would you like to...
Yeah, you're really special. There's this thing in you that you have yet to experience, this potential, and we'll see it in you.
To know how you can solve your problems and master your own destiny?
That's right. We'll solve all of your problems and give you control to your life in this cult.
Go beyond your barriers, your limitations. Discover the ability to make decisions with a deeper connection to your inner being, along with more peace, tranquility, and wisdom.
Lots of peace, tranquility, and wisdom, apparently.
Welcome to Eckankar, an ancient spiritual teaching that can help you realize your deepest longings. You are soul, an eternal spiritual being, a spark of God, endowed with immense powers, unlimited wisdom, and the power to live a life of spiritual freedom.
That's right. We're going to give you freedom here. But by the way, you're actually not your own person. You're just a little spark of light from God. You're all actually just God, pieces of God. And you're just here in a borrowed body to experience a life and suffering so that you can suffer your way closer to God and work up our pyramid scheme. You know, rank up it. And then when you get to the top, after you've paid up a whole bunch of money to get there, then hopefully you will be closest to God. And then you will not reincarnate into a new life in your next life. Otherwise, you have to come do all of this over again.
You're here to learn how to love as God loves. Do you know that you can change your life?
Right?
Gain more confidence and clarity.
There's a lot of stock video, you know? Like, the reason why on passive was so worrisome to me, guys, is because I had just found all of these. You know what I mean? We were deep diving this cult, and it was like, whoa, this is craziness. This has a lot of propaganda. If you've ever looked at Jehovah's Witnesses, the LDS Church, Scientology, you know, that is the one thing that all of them have in common is this, like, propaganda machine that they all run. Usually they all have publication companies of their own that will, you know, release constant books, again, like this one does, or videos, again, like this one, and the others do. And that's basically all they do. It's just constant brainwashing. It's sad. This is a nice picture. Better than the stock video eagle, that's for sure.
Learn how to receive your own answers to your problems and to travel as soul to...
It's like, learn how to receive your own answers. Why would you have to seek outside to receive your own answers? How is something on the outside going to help you with that, you know?
the splendorous worlds of God.
Just ask yourself.
Experiencing the love of God. Eckankar offers you simple spiritual tools to develop more love, more tranquility, and wisdom. No matter what spiritual path you follow, practicing these simple spiritual exercises for several minutes a day in the privacy of your home can transform your life into one of greater happiness and love.
See, they always stress it doesn't matter what you practice. We're not asking you. See, this cult, that's the one thing that's different about it than every other one. Is that they really do stress this whole, we're not asking you to leave your belief system. We just want you to also have our belief system on top of it. They're always stressing that. And it's like, as you know, that doesn't end up working out. It will cause somebody a lot of cognitive dissonance. Because this one's saying that they're the way. And then the one that you're practicing, whether you're a Catholic, a Christian, Buddhist, whatever you are, right? That's also telling you that their way is the way. So you'll constantly be in a state of oh my God, I don't know which one is the actual truth. And that will fuck with your brain. Eventually, you're going to pick one. Right? Humans kind of go, and then to comfort and stop that cognitive dissonance, they'll pick up one. They're hoping that you'll pick Eckankar. Right? They're hoping that this also gives them a leg up. That other one says you can only be theirs. We're open. We're happy or what? We're more inclusive. And that's the big thing they're doing right now. That's why it's important to speak out about this one right now. They're preying on the youth right now and telling them we're more inclusive than Christianity and all of the other religions. So if you want to actually be a kind of a Christian and you want to be a good Christian, you should join this. They're showing up on college campuses all over the place and telling young people, we are the all-inclusive religion that you all wish existed. You don't like the bigotry of the Catholic Church and Christianity and all these other religions? Eckankar is the answer for you. And it makes it seem more inclusive, and it's just not. I mean, they have, again, it's based off of Saint Matt. It's very Hare Krishna-ish.
If you learn how to work with a spiritual guide who is with you at all times, if you allow it, to protect you, to teach you, and to help you to take your best steps forward. Learn how your past lives have brought you to this point.
Yeah, and a lot about the past life. Which, the thing about past lives is the reason why I don't like that belief system is because it sets it up for this life to be a punishment right from the beginning. Like, it's like the reason why you're alive right now on this earth is because in your past, you didn't get close enough to God. So you better work extra hard at it in this life because you're being punished for not doing it well enough in past lives. And like, it just feels very like, what the fuck are you supposed to do about that in this life? You know what I mean? Like, you can't go back and fix. What the hell? You're coming into this life, you got all this baggage. What's that about? The baggage that you don't even remember until you get into this cult, and then they start giving you all these weird memories of your past life. It just makes this life seem like very negative right from the time you're born. You know? All of these pictures and videos just exude inclusivity, right?
The conditions of your life are due to your actions in this and in previous lifetimes. Eckankar offers a home-based study to help you understand the spiritual reasons why your life is as it is, and what you can do to improve your destiny.
Yeah, why your life is the way it is, which is obviously fucked up, because all religions figure that you're vulnerable and fucked up, and that's why you're there, to seek the answer, just if you weren't aware of that. And now you have to learn again how to do this life right, which means how they tell you to live, apparently, so that you don't keep returning.
Use spiritual techniques that anyone can do, sitting in your chair or lying down, to travel in your dreams to heavenly worlds. Become a part of loving,
Yeah, see, you can even do it in your sleep.
spiritual communities. Visit temples of golden wisdom and meet the spiritual teachers of Eckankar.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to take a look at the Temple of Golden Wisdom. I also have a video on that. We got the journal and we got the temple. I'll show it to you. Don't worry.
That serve to help you move closer to the heart of God.
Those are all the living Eck masters. There's a group of them. Harold Klepp is the top. The main one. Okay? But there's like a whole bunch of masters, including this gentleman talking here in this video, that are also seen as living Eck masters that are, again, this is like a pyramid scheme. So like, Harold Klepp's at the top of the pyramid, then he has a group of leaders underneath him, and then everyone else is underneath them, right? And depending on where you are on their hierarchy, because you're working on the path of spiritual freedom, it's set up like Scientology. So there's levels that you have to climb. Basically, it's based off of Scientology. So you got to climb these levels in order to get closer to the top and be closer to God. And you do that through the chanting and the soul travel and all this other stuff they tell you to do. And you have to read all the books and blah, 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 right? So they have all of these other Eck masters as well. And the fun thing that's about to happen, guys, is on October 25th, they are going to tell all of us who is going to step up and take the place of Harold Klepp. There's some drama going on in Eckankar right now. Some people think Harold Klepp has already passed away. And that's why they're going to be announcing this. Apparently, he hasn't been seen in a little while. The last time he was seen, we've reacted to some more recent videos of his, and he looks very ill, right? He's older. He's an older dude, right? So he's, unfortunately on his way out. He's, very old. And so he wasn't looking well. He wasn't looking well. And a lot of them are kind of like, I think he already died. And now they're going to announce it. But we're going to find out either way. Hopefully he's still with us. I don't wish that on anyone. But we are going to find out either way on the 25th who's going to replace Harold Klepp. Now, if you're new to my channel, let me just assure you that every single time that a leader has had to take over from Paul Twitchell, there has been massive drama and controversy and crazy stuff going on. Harold Klemp wasn't supposed to be the living Eckmaster. It was actually supposed to be Darwin Gross. And there was a whole thing with that we've also dove into, and that caused a lot of drama and issues. And so I'm kind of excited to be here now and be a part of this exchange that's going to happen in real time on the 25th and see what drama kind of unfolds. Will the members of this group be happy with who they pick? It won't be any of the women, so don't think that. Women can't do it. They can allegedly be the masters at the top. They just can't take over, right? That you can't be the main living Eckmaster. Only men can do that. So it will be quite interesting. Quite interesting. I was Lord Xenu in a previous life. Now I'm more like Mistress Xena. I like it. All they have here is a storefront bookstore, right? Pretty much a little gift shop, especially in the temple. I believe the temple also has a gift shop. Of course. You buy like little statues of like Paul Twitchell and Harold Klemp and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cringe.
Learn how to sing Hugh, the sacred name of God. Sing Hugh just a few minutes every day to lift yourself spiritually to the light and sound of God, known as the Holy Spirit. Discover spiritual exercises that help you to heal your body and mind. Enjoy
Get a bird, apparently.
Greater spiritual wisdom so that you can have a better relationship with your family, conquer your fears, and experience what the afterlife is like in this lifetime.
They're always preying on families. Children are very, very easy to indoctrinate and manipulate. And then if they grow up in the cult, they're hoping that they don't leave. And then they have their children in the cult. That's how it continues after all.
You don't have to change your religion or spiritual path to start benefiting. These tools are offered without pressure, without obligation. You can practice them in the privacy of your home and in your personal life. You can stop whenever you want. You can begin a
Yeah, you just got to donate $75. $75 a year. And then you can, sing Hugh all you want.
A 12-month advanced spiritual study home program. Read one chapter a month and practice the spiritual exercises at the end of each one. They're easy to do and don't take much time. Watch as your life changes into one of greater understanding, wisdom, and divine love.
We're going to start going over some of these spiritual exercises. We've kind of done it. We've read through them all and kind of practiced them. But I think it'll be fun to watch some videos of people like doing the guiding of them.
Transform yourself during those 12 months into a more radiant spiritual being. Eckankar is based on God's love for all and on spiritual freedom for each one of us. We respect your divinity as a spiritual being and honor your decisions.
Honor your decision.
For more information about free workshops, classes, and
Again, we've read through these.
including free books to help you with your
And that one we've also read through.
daily problems, and to help you to take your next spiritual steps, contact us. Get ready for a great adventure.
Eckankar.org, Advanced Spiritual Living Courses. Eckankar.org/courses. Don't worry. Like I said, we'll go through some of those. Excuse me, 105 Canadian. Yes. I think it's 115 here. I don't know. They might just take 75 here too. I don't know. I don't know, Joe. It's also changed. See, it used to be 50, and now it's 75. They've upped the price. How dare they? Here's a fun one. We got another 1-800-LOVE-GOD.
Discover how past lives, dreams, and soul travel can help you step out of the crowd and master your spiritual destiny. By looking within, you can explore your dreams, past and
Okay, it's kind of funny. You're like, all right, now close your eyes and pretend that you're soul traveling in your dream.
By looking within, you can explore your dreams, past and present relationships, and gain
Past and present relationships. Like, why do we want to do that?
valuable insights to improve the quality of your life every day.
Yes, improve the quality of your life every day. Sweetie, be careful. There's a book coming at your face.
If you would like to discover spiritual truth through past lives, dreams, and soul travel, then call 1-800-LOVE-GOD and receive your free copy of Eckankar, Ancient Wisdom for Today. 1-800-LOVE-GOD.
You call 1-800-LOVE-GOD. Yes, that's the girl from the thumbnail. Yes, it is. You know, you gotta work on your spiritual enlightenment. Just call 1-800-LOVE-GOD. 1-800-LOVE-GOD. It's kind of funny. I love it. I find this stuff hilarious. This is the funny stuff of what we do. So this one is called Miracles in Your Life. There is a word, a sound, that connects heaven with earth in a heartbeat. A simple two-letter word that few people know, but many are now discovering. Does it sound like on passive when it says things like that? Or should I just, on passive sounds like it? You know, just throw it in there. The difference this single word can make in your life may astound you. Singing this word can heal a broken heart, offer solace during times of grief, and bring inner peace and calm. This word has been sung for thousands of years in many lands for spiritual upliftment. It actually hasn't. You is, see, like what they're talking about when they say that is, which is the sound used by most people when they're meditating. And that is usually known by religions like Saint Matt and Hinduism and all that as the sound of God. It's the Om. And when you do it, you vibrate. And if you get a whole group to do it, then it vibrates. Hugh kind of does the same thing, but I just want to stress here that like Paul Twitchell just kind of made up Hugh. All right. He took a scripture from Saint Matt, Radha-Swami, Hinduism, and then he took Scientology. He put them together, came out with this, and then went, we need our own sound. So now we're going to go, and if you actually pay attention, it's not the same vibration. And you see people that practice this like in more Hinduism religions and out in India and stuff, the vibrational part is a very important part of it. So if you're not getting the like sort of vibration, you're not really doing the meditation, full body meditation thing. Or okay, so like this is like a whitewashed, watered down version. Basically, some white guy said, it would be really cool if I could make myself a guru. How do I steal everything from these people and then make it my own so that I can run a cult and create a religion so that I don't have to pay taxes and I can get really rich? That's what we're doing here. That's what this is. And so when they make these statements like, oh, singing Hugh, people have been doing for Well, no, you are right in terms of people have been meditating and that there is a noise that people feel is the sound of God when they meditate, but it ain't you, right? And it's not from Eckankar. So technically, no one's been singing Hugh for many years. Paul Twitchell started that in 1965. They've only been singing it since 1965, damn it. Like, you know? And pronounced as Hugh. Baron says, if you're not getting the right vibration, you need to plug in your charger. So Joe says, you need to get new batteries from Pure Romance. When you sing Hugh, you may notice a feeling of peace, warmth, and comfort as it fills your world with love. It's actually just neuroscience doing its thing. Like I said, stay tuned. Writing an article on that right now. Singing Hugh for a few minutes can release your inner tension and help you solve your daily problems. It can make you more calm, strong, and centered. Everyone can benefit from singing Hugh. I just like every day you and your family are just going around like Hugh. That's the other thing. Like they claim it's a meditation, but they're like, oh, but you can also do it while you're like, you know, doing your dishes and like it's like, well. So if your name is already Hugh, then you're in great hands, I guess. Hugh is for all people, regardless of faith. There it is again. Like I said, they bring it up as often as possible. You don't have to change your beliefs to be in our cult. Don't worry. Hugh is Lord's golden thread drawing soul closer to God. It is for the upliftment of all. Sing Hugh aloud or silently within. Anytime you want greater insight into your life. So that's the other thing, right? If you're not singing it out loud, you're supposed to be kind of just thinking it in your mind, again, while you're just doing stuff around your house. Just brainwash yourself while you're trying to clean, you know? When you sing Hugh or hold it in your mind in times of need, it becomes a prayer of the highest sort. And see, now this is where, again, it has to be said, like, you can't be other religions and then also be Eckankar, right? It doesn't work. If you believe in praying every time you come across hard times, but then you're also supposed to be singing Hugh every time you come across a hard time, which one are you going to go to when you're in a time of need? Are you doing both? You know, it's... That's where the issues arise, where it's like you kind of can't be more than one belief system when it comes to a religion, though. You know, like you can't really be Christian and Buddhist, or be a Mormon and Buddhist, and you know, it's just these things you can't do, cause you stress. Hugh, the most beautiful prayer, can lift you into the very heart of God. Now it's become a prayer, which would then, like I said, have to replace your prayers if you're someone that's a Christian and believes in praying, actually praying, and then you're being told, well, no, you can just sing Hugh instead. So that it would be creeping over your Christian faith if you were in this as well. And you see how that would like create an issue for you? You know, like that's why I'm like, I don't like this. That's not, it won't work. Where you discover how truly deeply you are loved. Hugh can create miracles in your life. Presented by Eckankar for people of all faiths. It's like, okay, yes, we get it. We get it. You want people of all faiths. We hear you. In every single one. To learn more about the Hugh, it's usually referred to as the Song of Hugh, or just to learn more about Hugh, you know? This one, they kind of mix those together. To learn more about the Hugh and Eckankar, visit hearhugh.org. It's like, how many websites do we need? Damn it. This is from 2011. You know, if you're trying to keep track of when these are from. We're kind of jumping around. We're time traveling all over the place today. You know, it's a little difficult to put them all into some kind of order. I'm both Zen Sunny and Boone his... I'm like, I don't even know how to say this. Boone is Islamic. And only read the Orange Catholic Bible. I like it. That sounds like a fun religion. So, all right, this one is experience spiritual meditation with the Hugh. Or is that the one we just played? I don't even know anymore.
Sacred sound.
That's this one. I love this one. This is my favorite one.
Woven into the language of life.
The language of life.
Stirring in your very atoms. The sound behind all sounds.
The sound behind all sounds. Again, no, that would be, that's what they say about that one. Listen, you can't all have the sound of all sounds.
Infinite ways to receive its blessings. Sing Hugh with an open heart.
The way he's talking, it might just put you into a trance. I'd argue that that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Look and listen.
At the least.
For the love that returns to you.
Look at the kitty!
Love is love.
Little bit sus that at that part is when they choose to show children, but you know, anyway.
And you are that. Hugh is the sound of soul.
Kitty's the real God. That's who we should be praying to, damn it. The cats really do run the world. The sound of soul.org. Again, how many websites do we need? You know? And yes, again, it threw in the Song of Hugh at the end there. You can like just barely hear it. Just barely. Right there. They try to throw it in whenever they can. This was from 2017. 2017, Eckankar. You know, because they don't really change. The year doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, the year of these don't actually really matter. Right? At all. And not even the pets are safe. Life after life. Our pets come back to us. Reincarnation is real. Or at least you're reincarnating with your pets. You know? You're reincarnating with your pets. That's right, they were. Cats were worshipped as gods in Egypt. That's right. They haven't forgotten. And it's okay because they reincarnate with us. Animals are soul. Enjoy real life stories Animals are also soul. They reincarnate with you. So there you go. The pets come back to you. Reincarnation is real. This one kind of pissed me off because, okay, listen, I had beagles as pets. And I was kind of like, this is a shitty commercial. Seems very manipulative. Just saying. People love their pets. And when a pet passes away, you know, it's sad. And you want to believe that. You know, you want to believe that in your next life, your pet's going to come find you. That's a beautiful thought. And I can completely understand why you would want to believe that. I wish it were true. And it just feels really shitty for them to, like, you know, take that and use it against people. That's why I don't like this shit. Life after life, our pets come back to us. Reincarnation is real. Like, shut up, Susan. You know? I don't know. Emotional manipulation gets to me. Gets to me a little bit. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. So that one feels icky. It really does. I'm like, ew. Ew. Here's another one. Horses! True freedom is the natural desire of soul. Animals are soul.blog. You know? Good old animals are soul.blog. Gotta love that. They have a lot of commercials out for it. Endless commercials. Now, you know, if you are a pet lover, it is sort of a shitty thing to do to people, in my opinion. Here's the website here. You know, and they share a lot of, like, stories, but then they share some iffy things. Like for example, this story here, a German Shepherd responds to the sound of soul. Now, it depends, like, what are you doing? Because dogs can hear things, you know, like, way louder than we can. Right? Hello, Serene. Good to see you. So it just worries me. Like, I hope that you're not taking the sound of you and, like, putting it up to your dog's ear super loud. And then being like, oh my God, look at my dog reacting. This much must mean something. You know what I'm saying? That just seems like abuse. Abuse to me. But, you know, they share a lot of, like, stories of animals. You know, for the most part, it's pretty innocent, like I said, other than the emotional manipulation and some of the things that, you know, make you worry a little bit. You know? And they say all of the dogs and cats and hamsters, all the pets you've had, have all been, you know, reincarnated with you. And it's just iffy. And then they have this, like, Harold Klemp, animals are souls too quote. The best way to listen to our animal companions is to see them as soul. This means recognizing their eternal spiritual nature and knowing that God loves them just as much as God loves you. That's kind of nice in a way, you know. But just, I guess, more manipulation. They have, like, dreams with animals and the afterlife and animals. And for me, it's just, again, another way for them to try to prey on people by using their love of animals, you know? But you will notice that it's, looks like it hasn't been, you know, really up to date since 2023. So the good news is a lot of these websites that are being promoted seem to be dormant. which is the good news. The bad news is their main website is still very active, and they are still recruiting into this every single day. And like I said, they are very much trying to prey on the youth. So, are they vegans? No. No, that is not something that is written. They actually pride themselves on the fact that they say that they don't have any of those rules. You know, they don't restrict what you eat, what you listen to, what you can do. Although, you know, when you listen to Harold Klem's teachings, he'll be like, don't smoke, don't drink. But he doesn't say anything about not eating meat or anything like that either. To the point where it's a rule, you know? They'll just kind of talk about what's morally right and wrong, as religions do. You know, like how Catholics will be like, well, we're not against gay marriage. It's just if you are gay, then you're going to hell. And you're like, well, then doesn't that mean, like, you know, similar to that, except less rules than this one. Their main rule is read the books, watch their TV shows, their little channel, and again, do their spiritual practices and sing hymn every single day, along with whatever religion you're in, right? Because you don't have to leave your religion. It's like, okay. Because I want two religions to practice every single day. That just sounds like great fun. You know? For most people, that would be much too much. Too much! All right, so we have this interesting one here. This was made by the Eckankar youth group. Infinite possibilities. You!
It's not just a word.
The Hue is an amazing love song.
To overcome fear.
It makes me feel more comfortable and keeps me calm.
The Hue always fills me with so much light and energy.
When I'm singing, I pour forth my entire being.
Just to connect with spirit.
To open up my heart.
It reminds me that I'm never alone.
It's like heading to one of the wonders of the world. Unless you've been there, you can't understand what it's like.
I love the Hue, and I think anyone, regardless of their religion, should try it.
I sing Hue to find the answers to all of my questions.
He looks and sounds miserable. My God.
Hue makes me feel like I always have somebody who has my back.
The Hue.
Blink twice if you need help.
Hue is your own experience.
It opens my heart completely. It just throws those doors wide open and allows me to love.
Oh, it's because it's their youth group. Yeah, a lot of religions have youth groups. So groups of kids and teenagers that get together to learn about being religious. All of these religions and cults prey on children. Teenagers, people in their early 20s. That's who they really want to get to join. They're easy targets, easy to indoctrinate, manipulate.
Life.
Hue is woven into the language of love. It is the sound of all sounds. There's good old Harold Klem, spiritual leader of Eckankar.
What I love about the Hue is that there's no set time to sing it. You can sing it under any circumstances, any time of day.
I sing it morning, noon, and night. The Hue.
See, I sing it morning, noon, and night. So they're like, oh yeah, I know, just a few minutes a day you gotta practice. Yeah, that's what they tell you to get you to join. Then once you're in there, they're like, oh, there's all this stuff you have to do every day, and make sure you're singing you a few times a day, and make sure you're climbing up our pyramid hierarchy here to get to the top. And if you're not paying to do all these courses, then you're not doing it properly, and blah, 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 blah.
Sets the tone for my day.
I sing the hue whenever and wherever I need to.
Wow.
I get very comfortable.
Lying down or sitting up.
Lying down.
Put my feet on the ground.
I take a few deep breaths.
I think of something that I love.
Close my eyes.
Focus on my spiritual eye.
Let my worries just kind of melt away.
Yeah, they do the chakra thing as well, right? So you have your spiritual eye, your chakra, up on your forehead, in between your eyes. You're supposed to focus on that.
I get calm.
And then just let it out like this.
And then let it out. Lord.
Spiritual eye.
Let my worries just kind of melt away.
I get calm.
And then just let it out like this.
Then I say, may the blessings be, and I feel like I'm in a new world.
And I say, may the blessings be. What does that sound like? So mote it be.
Hue in one word is a life force.
Soul, God,
Centering.
Magical.
everything.
Passion.
Compassion.
It's sweet, man.
Beautiful.
It's sweet, man. That guy's so stoned for this.
Amazing.
Truth. Powerful.
Bliss.
So is that other guy with the hair. I don't know what's going on with him.
Transcendent.
It just is.
Love.
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 Love. Millions of ways to say thank you. All right, it. Made by you. For time. For everyone. With the support of Eckankar. Just sing. Right? It was well produced. It was, which is great because, they have a production agency where basically these kids are just producing these videos for them. So that's why it looks so well produced. And, they have a production company. Most of these things do. So they have all of the professional equipment to make these lovely propaganda videos. Right? And there is something a little creepy about watching a bunch of kids tell you that you should join their cult. But they all do it. All of them do it. You're supposed to watch this and go, wow, I want to be like those guys. And it makes you wonder, who's supposed to watch this and want to be like these teenagers? Do you think this is made for adults? Probably not. This is to be shown to children that are younger than them, so that those children look up to these teenagers and very young folks and go, yeah, I want to be like them in Eckankar singing you and making videos like this. That's what I want to do. Right? Very, very, very manipulative, as everything with cults usually are. We're going to take a quick little commercial break, mainly because my child just got home. And so I need to take a small break right now. And then when I return, we are going to be going over the temple, because they do have their amazing temple that they use also to promote this and tell everyone, come join us. Aren't we just wonderful, great people? And we'll be going over their journal.
Today's stream is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon?
You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but Lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy! No one fucks with my hose! The Lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Nah, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Are you tired of getting screwed over by false promises, bad leadership, and tiny results? Introducing Tiny Dinger Condoms. Trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. The only protection you need when dealing with inflated egos and underwhelming performance. Whether it's a shady MLM pitch, a fake AI company, or a man who tells you he's the lord of the internet. Don't get played, get protected. Tiny Dinger Condoms are on passive resistant, 100% scam proof. Coated in reality and skepticism for extra protection against cult-like charisma. And hey, if you're gonna get screwed by Ash Mufara's vision, at least make sure you're wearing something that actually works. Tiny Dinger Condoms. Trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. For when the product is imaginary, but the disappointment is real. Now available in Founder Frenzy flavor. Tastes like regret and missed refunds. Located at your local CVS, pharmacy, Rexall, Shopper, Drug Smart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand. Is your leader's birthday coming up? Don't just send a card. Send your soul. Introducing Happy Cult Day, the ultimate birthday experience for narcissistic gurus. Because nothing says divine enlightenment like 8 hours of forced gratitude on Zoom. With Happy Cult Day, you'll get a pre-written poem about how your leader changed your life. Access to a 9-hour tribute webinar you're required to attend. A royalty-free song you'll awkwardly sing with 300 other blinking followers. And a limited edition e-card with their face on a beam of light. Because they're just like Jesus, but better. Add on the birthday worship upgrade to include a tribute video of members crying, children chanting their name, and a slideshow of their humble beginnings. Why celebrate you when you can celebrate him? Again, Happy Cult Day, because in a real cult, it's their birthday every day. Side effects may include financial ruin, loss of autonomy, spontaneous chanting, seal clapping, and sudden belief that Ash Mufara invented the internet. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger condoms and Fantasia foot spray. Buy Tiny Digger diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsors. Now, back to the live stream. Yes, thank you. Thank you for listening to that message. I appreciate you giving me a few minutes to say hello to my daughter after she got home from school. So, I thought that we would go through, there was this funny video that got posted of a tour of the Eck Temple, of course. And I thought that we would go through it because I think that it's important to show, you know, what the temple looks like. So here it is. I'm not sure about the music here. It should be alright. Temple of Eck. This is the main temple. And yes, Joe, don't worry. I will add your ads in. Don't worry. They really like the flowers a lot. Like, I'm like, they pay particular attention to flowers. Like, I'm like, okay, we don't need to see, like, the flower pots, you know? Like, but as you can see, there's a whole section of just flowers. You know, when you don't have much to show, I guess show the flowers outside. Which then makes you wonder, are the people that work for the temple, are they the ones that are out there gardening? Do they hire somebody? Like, what's going on here, you know? Why is that so much of this? Oh, look, we're also enjoying these flowers. Just a lot of flowers. This huge garden area, this huge path that leads up to it. This spectacular temple. It's like, look at the trees. Like, thank you. I also cut out a little bit. That was a little ridiculous. They have this outside seating area for their events. Gazebo. You know? A view from the Eck Celebrations of Life Chapel. Professional landscaping? I'm guessing so. You know? In which case, it's like, cool, you paid people to come and take care of the lawn and your flowers. That's nice. You know, like, but it doesn't legitimize it to me. And I think that's what they're sort of trying to do with it here. Like, it's just flowers and nice landscaping. Like, it's nice that you got such a large land. You know, it's nice that everyone's paying you $75 a year to be a part of this. You know, they want $75 a month, probably. Probably costs people a lot more than that to be a part of it. Because as I keep pointing out, there's courses you have to pay for in order to do the practices, in order to work up the pyramid. right? It's very much like Scientology in that sense. So people are paying for these things. A lot of the books are free, but then some of them you also have to pay for, right? So they're making money, and then they're like, yeah, so we rented this big property that we probably get professional landscapers to work on, so we pay for that too. And then we have this big giant temple. And like, once again, it's a situation where like the church looks like it has enough money, you know? Like, I grew up Catholic. The Vatican has enough money it could end hunger in the world. And it's an issue I have. You know? It's like, okay, so you paid for this nice giant temple on this big piece of land with the money that you took from people that was supposed to go towards them reaching their spiritual enlightenment. Because the goal here, again, is that they're told that they won't reincarnate. Because when you come back and experience life again, like I keep pointing out, it means you kind of fucked up the last life. You weren't godly enough. You weren't doing the practices enough and singing Hugh enough, right? So the whole thing's just very convoluted, and this doesn't impress me or legitimize it. It just makes me think of how they're wasting everybody's money on this. Like, that's all it does. Hello, Scam Chan. The unlimited courses reminds me of another scheme. Exactly. Well, they're all very much based on the exact same system of working up a pyramid. That's sort of what we're speaking out against here, is that system. That hierarchy, that system that seems to create the coercive control, no matter who the leader is, what you're climbing up the system for, or who the members are, what the beliefs are, anything you're selling, like none of that even matters. That's just all extra stuff. It's really the system that's the problem. Look at this temple. And this is, of course, like the main one, right? They all have their main temple. This is their main one. You know, show us the gazebo. Very nice. Like, I'm not here like, oh, it's ugly, fuck the flowers. Like, that's not what we're doing, but I'm kind of like, you know. And then they're like bluebird houses. And they show us like all of these bird houses. It's very strange. You come back as a person over and over and over again until you do the teachings correctly. That's what a lot of these sort of religions believe that I'm covering right now. They're all very similar cult belief systems with the karma and the reincarnation. And then they all have these systems that you got to work up in. So that's why you got to work up their system and learn how to be a good Eckist so that you can be closer to God. So you do your soul travel exercises and sing your Hugh, you know? And if you aren't doing it enough, then you come back for another life to do it all over again. That's how this thing's framed. Can't come back as a bird. You would think that that's what they all thought they were coming back as. With all these damn birdhouses, I'm kind of like, what's this about? So many reincarnated flowers. It was like bizarre to me. And they have this rock area. We're very proud of it. We're very proud of this rock that says Eck on it. That deer. They've shown us the sign like 50 times. Look at how big that thing is. This is the inside. And that's the good old Temple of Eck. You know, that's what they wanted to show us. I was like, thank you. I feel like most of that was spent just looking at the flowers outside. And a lot of them are like that. And I'm like, it's just a little bizarre. And the birdhouses. We can't forget the birdhouses. You know? But your cats and dogs will be reincarnated also. Yes, and they come find you in your new lives. Maybe that's what the bird thing's all about. They're like, you know, we had pet birds in past lives. They'll come visit us, and then we have their birdhouses here. Deer thinking I was supposed to come back as an eagle. Right? So it's just, you know, kind of funny. So what a lot of these ads today told you to do is to get a hold of them so that you can get a hold of their free books. One of these free books that they keep trying to push on you, and one of the ways that they practice this religion as well, is raising your spiritual IQ. It's a really big part of it, right? We heard them say it a few times in these ads. Come raise your spiritual IQ. And that's kind of what you're doing with the practices. That's what you're doing while you're climbing up their system that we've talked about a lot. Hold on. I wonder if I can... Sorry. I wonder if I can show you. Yeah, I can show it. Hold on. Let's see if I can show this again. I don't know if this is a very good... Oh, here we go. Sorry. Taking a detour for a second so that you understand what I'm talking about. If you're new to this. So this is the planes, all right, that you're traveling to right here. And as you can see, they all have a name. A lot of them will be very familiar. You may be familiar of this from the Master Path cult as well, which we've also looked into, run by Gary Olson, which is actually based off of this. He was in Eckankar and left and created that. It also looks very familiar to the Radha-Swami St. Matt planes, because it's based off of that. So a lot of the planes are basically the same. And they all have a chant to do. And then they all have like another sound on top of that that's supposed to represent them. And we've gone through all of these. And this is where you're traveling to while you're doing your dream work. So you're practicing by traveling to these different planes in your soul travel and your dream work. Okay? And depending on how high up you are in the chart that I'll show you in a second, depends on where you can travel. Okay? So you have to be quite high up in the chart, of course, in order to travel to the higher worlds. All right? You kind of also have to work your way up these planes in a way. While you're working your way up to work your way closer to God by practicing this singing of Eck and all these astral plane travels, right? You're traveling around, and it's all kind of connected to each other in all kinds of weird, wonderful looking charts. So there's that. So you may have seen that chart. I'm trying to show the God realization and self-realization, but I'm not finding the best. I mean, we have gone through it before, but I'm trying to figure out how I could show it to you the best way. Da, 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 da. Oh, I don't like this one. I'm not a big fan of it, but I guess it will work. Alright, we'll do this one. show it to you like that. I'm not logged into Facebook right now on here though. Okay, so as you can see, you got quite the chart to work through here. All right. And as you can see, the goal is to get to the top of the chart and be in true God realization, right? So that you can travel to the Anami Lock plane. And you just kind of work your way up. And on the right side is kind of the way that you work your way up, and then on the left side is where you're traveling to. It's a little bit confusing, but I promise you we've broken it all down in the past. So if you are interested in learning more about how all of that works, you can go and check out my other Eckankar live streams. We just did one a few months ago, and we kind of get into explaining that a little bit more. Hello, Violet. You just finished a work dinner. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope it was a nice dinner. Eckankar Soul Board, top 100. It looks like that, doesn't it? Guess my wallet doesn't level up. See, and that's the thing, is that like every level to like move up, right? You have to do more practices. And in order to do the practices, you can either kind of get the books, which as I pointed out, some are free, some you have to buy. So it depends how deep you want to go. Of course, they're going to want you to go the deepest. So those ones you end up having to buy, of course. And then you're going to also take their courses that teach you how to do these practices to move up and then travel to the higher spiritual planes so that you can move from self-realization to God realization. It's very much, very, very Hindu-y, if you will. So that's basically what it is. Now let's get into this journal, because part of this practice is that you're supposed to kind of like work through this journal. And what you're doing while you're doing all of this, they call is raising your spiritual IQ. That's how you're doing that. You're working up these charts, okay? You're doing all the practices and you're getting closer to God so that you do not have to reincarnate again. All right? You are part of God. Consider yourself like a little tiny light of God, soul. And that's how your soul, and you're supposed to like return to God and become one with God. If you need kind of a visual of what that's supposed to look like and how they kind of show it to you. That's the best I can do. So, this is Harold Klem's version. There was a Paul Twitchell version, not that much different. Harold just kind of modernized it a little bit, slapped his name on it instead, if you will. So, of course, he has a little blurb here. It says, "Dear reader, as soul you have the God knowledge within you. My main job is to awaken the knowledge and love for the divine things already within your heart. You are soul, a child of God, and your spiritual destiny is to become a co-worker with God." So again, to like return up to God, work alongside them, to spread divine love to all those around you. And right now, the main co-worker with God is good old Harold Klem here. So Sri Harold Klem is the spiritual leader of Eckankar. As an inner and outer guide, he helps seekers of truth, inner peace, and freedom reach their full spiritual potential. The great thing about Harold Klem is that he will come and meet you during your soul astral projections. Yes, he can appear to you in the flesh, and he can also appear to you as a soul in your dreams and guide you. And that's what you're supposed to believe of all of these living Eck masters. They're almost like gods in themselves. They're kind of like omnipotent as well, and all. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They can be in everybody's dream at the same time. And then they can read your thoughts and they know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. So when they say inner and outer guide, What they mean by that is outer guide, as in you can watch his videos and watch him speak, and he can be like a guru to you here on Earth. Or he is your inner guide, which means that he is appearing to you in a spiritual form while you are doing your soul travel and working up your God realization chart, right? That's what that means. If you're like, what the hell is an inner and outer guide? What does that mean? All of this assumes that God actually wants you to come closer. Exactly. God's probably like, go away. Delulu, right? Who cooked this scam up? His name was Paul Twitchell, and he was in Scientology, and he actually taught the astral projection in Scientology before creating this cult in 1965. We've been covering it for like 3 years, guys. So, Harold offers creative techniques and spiritual practices that empower anyone to have direct daily experience with the divine through, again, this soul travel. His full title is the Mahanta, the Living Eckmaster. He is the latest in a long line of spiritual adepts who have served throughout history in every culture of the world. And if you read my future book that I'm writing, then you will find out more information about how that's not true, because the very first actual living Eckmaster was Paul Twitchell in 1965. Like, he created this. So, again, they're stealing off the Radha religion, all right? They're stealing off St. Matt. That's what they're stealing off of, Hinduism. They're taking that and stealing it and then claiming that that long line then somehow leads to Paul Twitchell over here. Really, Harold Klemp is the third living Eckmaster, as I pointed out. Between he and Paul, there was Darwin Groves. So I don't know what we're talking about, you know, when we say these things. We're just lying in these books to everybody. But, you know, he's the latest in a long line who have served throughout history in every culture of the world. And that's how they explain why, again, Hinduism claims these same things. The word Eckankar means co-worker with God. This is the goal for every Eck student, to learn to love as God loves. Then we have Discover the Wonder of You. This unique journal offers creative ways to unlock the God knowledge within you. Awaken to your full spiritual potential. Did you know you are soul? It's like, yes, you've told me 3 times by now in the book. I get it. An eternal, creative, unique atom of God. So I said, kind of picture it, how they picture it, is like God is a light. And you're like a little light, you know, that came from his light. That's the best way I can put it. As soul, you have the God knowledge within you. Eckankar can awaken the knowledge and love for the divine things already within your heart. You are soul, a child of God, they tell us again, and your spiritual destiny is to become a co-worker with God, to spread divine love to all those around you. You know, there's a lot of repetition. Wonder why. These spiritual exercises are a passkey to the wonders of you. Would you like to discover ways to remember your dreams? How to work with the spiritual aspects of hell? They're in question form. Ways to access your divine intuition? Help making choices for your highest good? A direct personal connection with the life source? Explore your spirituality from a new perspective. And here's the damn eagle again. Let me tell you, they really, really love the eagle. All right? The damn eagle is everywhere, all over the place. I guess to them, in a funny way, the eagle represents their soul travel. You know, because he's flying high. There's an excellent book coming out soon. Violet has read my book, if you are wondering. Violet helps me edit my book. So, trust Violet. Choose Your Soul Adventure. Do you know what that reminds me of? Those Choose Your Own Adventure books that were really popular in the 90s that I read. Every time that I read Choose Your Soul Adventure, I cannot help but think of that. I literally cannot read that. I've been covering this for 3 years. Like I said, I've read all of the books. Do you know how many times I've read that? And every single time, I can't help it. I'm just like, choose your own adventure. That's what I want to read every time. I have to really concentrate on the soul part of it, you know? Each contemplation and spiritual exercise given here opens a window to your inner spiritual being. Experiment with them, make them your own, then record your impressions, insights, and experiences, no matter how subtle they may seem. Of course, right? Watch as your daily life comes into greater agreement with your highest spiritual goals. So, page 1 is connect with the God current. Hugh is a carrier of love between God and soul. Page 6, treasure within. Contemplation is a conversation with the most sacred, most genuine, most mysterious part of yourself. Page 10, the golden cup. It is the nature of a mortal soul to dream. Page 14, the secret of all time is that we are each to be a steward of divine love on sacred ground. Then we're up here, page 18. A song of soul. The highest truth is not written in any book. It's written in your heart. They say as they are telling you to read this book, take part in filling out this book. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of funny. Kind of funny. I choose the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's who you're going to worship? All for the adventure with God. That's right. So 22 is doorway to higher awareness. Seize the moment, seize the hour, seize the day. Oh, wow. Did they write that? Glory in the fact that you are a spark of divine creativity. Again, with that sparkle light thing, they're kind of all about that. 26, Dream Dictionary. The experience you have in dreams are to give you another perspective on your life today. It's all about dream interpretation and karma, reincarnation, all that fun stuff. 30 is create a brighter world. The light and sound of God helps you recognize your heritage as a spiritual being. 34, a true reflection. Hugh will prepare you to accept the full love of God in this lifetime. You exist because God loves you. And 38 is an edge for health. Hugh acts as a turning fork, aligning soul with the higher states of love, creativity, healing, and awareness. And you might be saying, Queen, that's a lot of pages, 38 pages that we'll be reading through today. Wow. And then you might be over here at looking at how the total number of pages of this PDF is 26 pages. And you might be wondering what the heck that's all about. Because I might have been doing that if I was a viewer. I'd be like, what do you mean page 34? It says there's only 26 pages here. What the fuck, you know? Are they missing some? What's going on? Yeah, Captain, my Captain! I love that fucking movie. That's one of my most favorite movies. Dead Poets Society. Love that movie. Anyway. It's because this PDF file, all right, the way it's done is that each side is supposed to be a separate page. Each page is actually 2 pages. And that's because this is a very teeny tiny book. This is a teeny tiny book that you are supposed to be carrying with you at all times so that you can journal throughout the day. You know, I mean, what if you're singing Hugh and then you have a soul travel experience? You need to write that down. So it's kind of like a little tiny pocketbook that you carry with you. And that is why, although there's 38 pages in it, this PDF is only 26 pages. And this here would be folded in the middle and, you know, would be 2 pages. That's how you have to picture this book as we go through. You'll see what I mean. So, connect with the God current. Hugh is a sacred sound and ancient mantra. They claim. It is the sound behind all sounds, woven into the language of life. Hugh is a carrier of love between God and soul, sung silently or aloud, because remember, you're also supposed to be singing it in your head. Hugh will stir the eternal force of divine love within your heart. There's not much difference between singing Hugh all day long, every single day, and singing Hare Krishna all day long, every single day. It's all the same brainwashing, repetitive brainwashing tactic. That's what it is. Its sound is heard in ocean waves, the wind in the leaves, the falling rain, the singing of birds, laughter, and the din of city traffic. It is the whisper of God's love stirring in your very atoms, even when there are people crying. The crying is of the Hugh. Weird thing to say. But okay. You may see the light of God. It can be a blue light, a white light, yellow light, or a green light, and will bring you a feeling of blessedness. Begin today. This once secret, ancient name for God can uplift people of any religion, culture, or walk of life. We're preying on everybody with this cult. You doesn't change your religion. It will enhance it. Yep. The theme of today is we promise we don't want you to leave your religion, just also join ours. Right? He's so greedy, desperate to hypnotize and blend the youth's mind. Yep, well, I mean, that's what they all do, right? What if you're colorblind? Well, then I guess you're fucked, Joe. Nothing you can do, I guess. Nothing you can do. So begin today. Find a quiet spot. Shut your eyes. And let love for something dear to you enter your heart. Sing Hugh gently aloud, then silently for 10 to 20 minutes. Look and listen for the love that returns to you. And right before the commercial break, you saw their youth group give you instructions on how to do it. So if you're just coming in now, at the end of this stream, rewind it and watch the first hour where we went through all the ads. Because you'll be like, what the hell? But yeah, so again, this would be folded in half. See page 1 and 2. So then we have this journal area where you're supposed to write down, any of your thoughts while you're singing Hugh and whatnot. And it says, Hugh is a carrier of love between God and soul. As you can see, there's not much room. I would be fucked. I wouldn't be able to use this journal. Not enough room for me to write. Now we're on to the next part. Treasure within. While singing Hugh, imagine the holy sound of God cascading over you like a waterfall of pure sparkling waters. I think that's what a waterfall is. Yeah, it's water. Very good. It's cleansing the blemishes of spirit. God's love is always and forever flowing out to you like a quiet mountain stream. Divine love has no conditions. It simply loves. So go to the temple inside you and meet on holy ground with your God. And then it has a little Eck at the end of every blurb. Little Eck. Then, of course, we have the journal part. And it says, contemplation is a conversation with the most secret, most genuine, most mysterious part of yourself. Page 7 and 8. On to 9 and 10. The Golden Cup. Look, we found the Holy Grail. We found it. The Golden Cup. Every evening at bedtime, visualize a golden cup to be filled with your dream experiences. So this is how you're supposed to get ready for bed every night. You know? Spiritually transmitted disorder. That should be a thing. Icky, right? Yes, the Holy Grail. That's right. We found it. So again, every evening at bedtime, and you're already doing practices, writing in a journal, singing you in your head all day long, and then out loud a few times a day. And then at bedtime, this is what you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, no. They just want to add to your current religion. Because, then you'd also be doing the practices of that religion. And at that point, you would have time to do nothing else with your day. Like, your whole day would just be worshiping God at that point. You don't even have time to go to the bathroom. Ridiculous. But anyway, every evening at bedtime, visualize a golden cup to be filled with your dream experiences. The cup sits by your bed. When you awake in the morning, in contemplation or in your imagination, drink from the cup. You are drinking in the experiences. And now all of a sudden I feel like I'm in Catholic church and they're going, now drink the blood of Christ. And I'm like, Daddy, why are we drinking blood? My dad's like, no, sweetie, it's wine. It's okay. I get flashbacks and shit. It's awful. It's awful, I tell you. But yeah, drink from the cup. You are drinking in the experiences, a conscious way of saying, I want to remember what I'm doing on the inner planes while my body is asleep. The golden cup is soul. It is you. As you put more attention on drinking from the cup, it takes on a life of its own. The more the Eck, the God current, flows in and out of the cup, the more soul shines of its own golden light. You're like, what? What in the hoopla was that sentence? You as soul become an even brighter vehicle of the divine spirit. Vehicles are becoming very, very culty. We might have to turn into anti-car people. I don't know. They keep bringing up vehicles. Lucky it's not a Stanley Cup. Gold is cheaper, right? Right? Sounds like a Bill Musk Golden Ash Productions. It does. It does. All cults very much sound the same. It's so silly to me, though. Vehicle. Another vehicle we gotta look out for, guys. The experiences you have will lead to greater awareness of your life and its divine meaning. We got the little X symbol again. And then, of course, the journal area, where you're supposed to start writing your dreams down now, where your little exercises before bed. And it says, it is the nature of a mortal soul to dream. How profound. Now we're on the part on sacred ground. Sacred ground. Well, it is Eckankar. Ha-ha! Touche, Barrett. I like it. Hockey night in Canada. Lord Stanley's Cup. Oh, no! Joe, what if that's what it is the whole time? The whole time, that's what we're doing. We're actually just handing out the Eckankar Golden Cup. Then what? Maybe it's all based on the same thing. But it says, each day, do one small thing for love and love alone, with no thought of reward. Giving of yourself to others, to life, is a key to heaven. Invite the Eck, the God current, to light up these golden opportunities, to serve as a co-worker with the divine. At the end of the day, chant Hugh for a few moments. So see, it's not just a few moments a day, like they say in those ads we watched earlier. You're doing it a lot more than that. And think back on your deeds done for love and love alone. You will become more aware of what makes these acts golden. And my whole thing is, this doesn't make sense because there is no way to do this now without getting something out of it, because you're making it a spiritual practice. Therefore, I'm officially getting that out of it right from the get-go. Do you get what I'm saying? Kind of contradicts itself in that way. They say, do one small thing for love and love alone with no thought of reward. My reward is that this is a spiritual practice that I'm doing. That you're telling me to do for Eckankar. That's supposed to get me closer to God. So now I'm fucked, and you just made it so that I can't even accomplish this. Like, thanks, Eckankar. Jeez. I don't get it. It doesn't, make sense to do that. It's like, okay. And then once again, more chanting of Hugh and little X symbol at the bottom there. And now, of course, here, this is where you would write down your good deeds that you're doing. And then they have this little blurb here that says, the secret of all time is that we are each to be a steward of divine love. It's just general hoopla, right? Trying to sound all profound. Now we got to do the Song of Soul. And if you're getting sick and tired of hearing about the Song of Hugh, I don't blame you. It gets extremely repetitive constantly hearing about it. Right? We decided that we should all be actually worshiping cats like they did in ancient Egypt, so I think you came in after that part, Violet. But that's what we'll be doing. I can't get a cat. I will die. See, that's why I'm atheist. That's why I need to stay atheist, you see? But yeah, we had that conversation earlier. So it says, a Song of Soul. Take a few deep breaths and close your eyes. Sing Hugh for several moments and prepare to experience God's love in a new way. Imagine yourself in a beautiful forest. A refreshing wind begins to blow through the trees. A spiritual guide, an ancient and dear friend, appears at your side. Now, of course, that's supposed to be the living Eckmasters. And you're supposed to actually experience this for real, according to them, if you practice their religion. Telling the secret means it's no longer a secret, so what do I need you for? Exactly. It contradicts a lot. That's why it's so funny. So, again, the spiritual guide, usually you picture Harold Klemp, not just like your random dear friend, right? Like they say, an ancient and dear friend, spiritual guide, supposed to be one of the Eckmasters. So they appear at your side, and he places a golden flute into your outstretched hands. Look at this. This is you with the golden flute in this image. The wind finds your flute, and its holy sound fills your ears and your heart. Wait, you don't play the flute? You just hold it in your hand and it plays? Because of the wind? What's with this image then? What are we doing, Harold? Anyway, it is and has always been a part of your being. It is a song of soul. In your daily life, you can recall this special sound of the hue in times of stress, or simply to remind you of its beauty and love. So instead of praying, you're singing hue. And then, of course, this is your journal part. And then it says, the highest truth is not written in any book. It's written in your heart. And it makes more sense for this journal to say this in a way, because you are at least writing in this. You know, when they say this in the other books, I'm like, okay, but you're asking me to read this book to find the truth. So a little confused why you would say that. But at least in this book, it's a journal. So you are actually adding to this in some way, I guess. I guess in that sense here, it's a little bit better. I mean, not a whole lot, but a little bit. The Holy Flute, if he wants to call it that, right? Does it sound like a dog whistle? Boom. I like it. Another resurrection of Scientology. Yep, it is. That's exactly what it is. So many of them. Now we have the doorway to higher awareness. Every time you walk through a doorway today, whether at work or at home, know that on the inner planes, you are walking through a doorway to higher awareness. And that is every doorway. As long as you recognize this in your consciousness. So now, remember, you're adding all these practices into your daily life to practice Eckankar. So you're singing Hugh a whole bunch of times a day, you're writing in this journal, you're trying to remember your dreams and write them down. You're meeting with Harold Klemp at trees in your dreams, doing soul travel. And now also, while you're walking through doorways, you're supposed to kind of take a second just to remember all this stuff about spiritual doorways. How many doorways do you think you walk through in a day? Probably a few. I mean, I definitely do. You know, I'm going in and out of my daughter's room several times a day. In and out of my own room several times a day. In and out of my apartment, usually at least once or twice a day. Because I usually take out some garbage. At least, even if I'm not leaving the house, I'm leaving my apartment to take out the garbage and come back in. So that's twice that I'm walking through just my apartment door. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you really think about it, between the doors inside your place, you know, every time you go to the bathroom, you're walking in through and then back out through, right? Like, that's a lot of doorways. So you're doing this a lot of times. If you're supposed to kind of, like, every time take a second to think about this, you're doing this several times a day. And remember, like they keep pointing out to us, this is add on to a religion you're already doing and you're already practicing. Probably doing similar things several times a day to practice. So that's why I'm kind of like, they have a little bit of a nerve to be like, well, just add us on top when they have like such a long list of things that you have to do. I mean, what is that about? So now you also have to do this. So, yay! Every single doorway. As long as you recognize this in your consciousness. So you're supposed to take just a split second and recognize it. For example, suppose you have a difficult meeting with your boss or coworkers. As you walk through the door into the meeting, know that you are entering the room with a newer, higher consciousness. When you get inside the room, pause a moment and ask yourself, how is my higher awareness going to affect me? Will I be more relaxed, more tolerant and patient? Will I trust Divine Spirit to provide me with the answers and guidance I need? And I'm kind of like, I'm sorry, Harold, but have you never walked into a fucking work meeting before? I don't think you have enough time to pause and ponder all these questions. Like, I don't know about you, but most work meetings I've walked into, they're like, hi, all right, now let's get started. Like, I can't be like, excuse me, guys. I'm going to need everyone at this board meeting to just wait a couple minutes. I need to take a second to ask myself how my higher awareness is going to affect me. And if I'm going to be more relaxed, more tolerant, and patient here. And if I'm going to trust the Divine Spirit to provide me with the answers and guidance I need during this meeting. So can you just wait a few minutes before we get started so that I can like do all that? Like your boss is going to be like, you're fired. Just go the fuck home. Like, I don't even want to hear about it. Like, the hell are you doing? You know? You know? If you experiment with this technique, you will find it changes your viewpoint and lifts you higher and higher in awareness throughout the day. Because you're supposed to be asking yourself all of those things every time you walk through a doorway. And that just sounds insane, doesn't it? I set out the security doorway at the airport yesterday morning at 5 a.m. I got a full pat down. Oh no, Violet. Damn. I hate it when that happens. I had a friend that worked at an airport, and they would have to go through the security like every single day. So they would have to get to work like before they, like quite a while before they were supposed to clock in, just to get through the security. And they would have days like that all the time where they'd be like, I just forgot this one thing in my pocket. And then they were like on me. And I was like, guys, like I work here. I go through this every day. Can you imagine? Just insanity. But I guess it keeps us safe. So there's that. Just sometimes they're a little bit ridiculous. Like one time they took my mom's nail file. And my mom was even kind of like, whoa, because they was like on her clippers, her nail clippers. They took the file off of the clippers and handed my mom back the clippers. So she was a little confused by this. And she was like, wait, like, what are you doing? Just kind of confused. And they were like, oh, well, you can use this as a weapon. And we were like, oh, yeah, but the clippers are fine, though. It was just like one of those, like, files that are attached to, like, the nail clippers. Like, and we can do stab someone in the neck with that? Probably not, okay? It's not going to do anything. It doesn't even file down your fucking nails. Most of the time, we have to go buy an actual nail file and don't even use that. So, like, I don't know what we're doing, airport, but, you know. At the same time, though, we do need it. I could say something, but I don't want to get in trouble. I don't get people in trouble, Joe. I'm not running a cult over here. There's not much you can say to get in trouble. It's quite hard to get in trouble over here, I think. But yeah, it just seems ridiculous to usually do this several times a day. But again, there's a little journal area for you to write down all the times that you did that today and how it helped you, I guess. Because what else are you going to be writing here? Not your grocery list. Then Harold Klemp would be very upset with you. And the little blurb on this page is, seize the moment, seize the hour, seize the day. Glory in the fact that you are a spark of divine creativity. And I'm like, okay, glory? Glory in the fact just sounds weird to me for some reason. And now, of course, we get to the Dream Dictionary. Oh, you get in trouble with Violet? You were going to ask her if she liked the pat down, Joe. I mean, if the security guard was cute, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Dream Dictionary, which I'm sure you knew that this was going to lead up to at some point. If you know anything about this thing, I'm sure you knew we were going to end up here anyway. Because what else do they have a journal for in a cult like this, right? It's basically your dream journal. Dream Dictionary. A personal dream dictionary can help you become familiar with your own dream symbols. Whether a bear, an eagle, can't forget the eagle, a schoolroom, or anything else, you'll be able to know what that particular symbol means to you. And if you're wondering why they mention schoolroom, it's because this is also supposed to be done with children. This is not only a dream journal, diary, dictionary, raising your IQ, whatever you want to call it. It is also a mini journal workbook that the children in Eckankar are supposed to be doing in order to learn how to practice. So many of them are probably dreaming about school. So there's that. Doing a dream diary, just to do a dream journal, as some people do, can be quite fun. All right? And I do think that there can be some kind of truth to, like, there has to be a science behind dreaming. And I feel like dreams are a collection of things throughout the day, or things maybe in your subconscious that can come to the light. I don't think that there's anything wrong with necessarily tracking your dreams. That's not what we're against doing here. We're not saying don't ever track your dreams. That's bad. No. That can be fine. And that can be very, very innocent. Like, that doesn't, you're not going to start tracking your dreams and then all of a sudden end up in Jonestown. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what goes on. That could be very fun and innocent. You can have fun with that. But again, you would have to do it in that spirit. Where it gets dangerous is when it becomes something that you have to do in order to reach your salvation at the end of your life. And if you don't do it properly, then you are going to be forced to reincarnate and relive life again until you get it right. And it becomes something to control you with. That's when it's a problem. But I highly recommend at some point in your life keeping a dream journal just for fun. Do that. Go down that path and try it out for a while and see what you find out. Why not? It could be fun for self-discovery reasons. I'm all about actual personal development and actual self-discovery, right? It's just when these things are used against you in a way that's going to then control or harm you, that's when I'm like, all right, enough of that now. But I highly recommend doing a dream journal at some point. If you've never done that before, I do recommend doing it. And your dreams can tell you about worries that you have. Your dreams can, I do think that there's some truth to that. But I think there's truth to that because of my science brain, not because of my religious beliefs. It's because, again, neuroscience proves that this is a thing. And psychology also says that there's some truth to this, like I brought up our subconscious earlier. So, I do believe that there is something to that, scientifically so. And that can be good, I think that can be a positive experience to do. Now, the thing is, though, is when you're looking for symbols, and instead of these symbols just meaning like, oh, maybe I'm worried about my test tomorrow or something, right? It becomes, again, something about you that should then make it so that you have to pay $300 to take a course so that you can then learn more about it so that you can climb up higher in this hierarchy. Like, you know what I mean? That's the issue. That's the issue. So again, it says that each symbol will have a unique meaning for each dreamer. Many books on dream symbology try to create a generic set of symbols to fit everybody under every circumstance. It doesn't work that way. And this is why I brought up that technically those other dream symbology folks, it's because they're just literally doing it using psychology and stuff and philosophy and what we know about dreams. They don't have an agenda or a narrative to make you believe anything with your dreams. So that's why it's like that. And Eckankar is like, enough of that shit. All right, we're going to take that symbology and we're going to actually use it here in our cult to brainwash you into this thing more. That's my issue. If anything, go get those other books and have some fun, instead of joining this cult and doing it their way. That's what I suggest anyway. So it says, it doesn't work that way. You are a unique being. And I'm like, yeah, that's why the other books have like several different things it can mean. Anyway, as you unfold spiritually, your dream symbols are going to take on new meanings. Record the date next to the meaning of each symbol so you can keep track of changes as they come. So now you got homework to do. Now you're supposed to also record the date that you dream symbols and write down the symbols. So you're doing a lot of stuff in this journal every day. And then you only have 2 very small pages to write everything, and I don't know what they're expecting people to do. Because, yeah, you're supposed to be, like, kind of carrying this around with you. The experiences you have in dreams are to give you another perspective on your life today. They reiterate in this little quote here. They haven't told us that enough times in this. And now we have create a brighter world. If you have an uncomfortable experience or dream, or one you don't understand, take it into contemplation. Begin by singing Hugh for a few minutes, of course. That's the answer to everything. Then rewind the dream or experience and run it through your mind. You know? Just kind of go over it, over and over and over again. And just think about it over and over and over again and talk about it over and over and over again. You know, just do that. It's almost like auditing. Oh, wait. That's exactly what it's based off of. Damn! Damn! Next, visualize a door that opens into golden sunlight. This is the light of God. Remember, it's the light and sound cult. Now take the uncomfortable experience from the darkness. Take it from the silence and solitude through the open doorway where it will dissolve into the light and sound of God. This exercise can get you in the habit of looking for a brighter, more creative world where you can find more inner satisfaction with the help of the inner master, the Mahanta, Harold Clamp, of course. You are learning to take charge of your life. You are becoming the aware soul, the creator of your own worlds. And there's the little X symbol. And then we got the 2 pages. The light and sound of God help you recognize your heritage as a spiritual being. Lovely. And then, of course, we have a true reflection. Cults turning dreams into nightmares since forever, right? A true reflection in your mind's eye. Here, you can see you have your third eye there. In your mind's eye, see yourself at the bank of a glistening river in the company of a spiritual guide. Again, probably Harold Clamp. You can picture whoever it is you look to, whether it's Jesus, one of the Eck masters, or any other holy personage like Buddha, Charles Manson, maybe. Jesus Christ. Sing Hugh with all your love for this divine presence. Watch as your guide reaches into the water and pulls out a shining mirror. Light dances from its surface. The master holds it before you, and in it you see a true reflection of your divine nature. Continue to sing Hugh silently or aloud. Again, if you're not singing aloud, you're singing it in your head. As you contemplate what you have seen. You may not be fully aware of Soul's encounter at the river, but in your day there will be something that speaks of your higher self in expression, an act of tolerance, kindness, selflessness, or even taking joy in the company of a stranger. Take note of this. Spiritual awareness will strengthen with your attention. X symbol. And then we have this lovely little blurb here, of course, on this little journal area that says, Hugh will prepare you to accept the full love of God in this lifetime. You exist because God loves you. Jesus loves me, this I know. So now we get to an edge for health. Are you edging over health? Don't do it. Hugh, Hugh, Hugh. That's right, it's all about you. All of it. Constantly singing Hugh all the time. So Hugh, we get into it again. Hugh, the secret name of God, which isn't so much of a secret anymore, as everyone keeps pointing out, opens you as a channel for the greater healing of divine spirit. Every thought, word, or deed either purifies or pollutes the body. This is very important, very powerful, because it deals with your state of consciousness. If at some point you need an edge for health or for peace of mind, look to what's coming into your world. Look to your form of music or your form of news. Be aware of whatever ways you let the external world into your internal world. What's coming in is going to go back out. Then it rebounds like an echo and returns to you. You know, they call it karma. It strengthens and grows to have a very strong influence in your life. This influence can be for either beneficial things or harmful things. So the choice is yours. Every thought, word, or deed either purifies or pollutes your body. X symbol. And then we have Q acts as a turning fork, aligning soul with higher states of love, creativity, healing, and awareness. And here it is, what this is always all about. Eckankar's spiritual living courses. Dun, 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 dun. Eckankar's spiritual living courses. Go higher, further, deeper with your spiritual experiences. Eckankar offers enrollment in the spiritual living courses for self-discovery and God discovery. This dynamic program of inner and outer study unlocks the divine love and wisdom within you. It offers step-by-step advances in enlightenment through spiritual initiations. From the first day, you can have direct experience with the God current and begin to meet life's challenges on the highest possible ground. You will enjoy monthly lessons, also available online, from the spiritual leader of Eckankar, Sri Harold Klemp, Creative Spiritual Practices for Daily Life, and the quarterly Mystic World publication. Optional classes, optional, in quotations, I would say, classes with like-hearted souls are available in many areas. How to get started. For free books and more information about Eckankar, visit eckankar.org. Call 1-800-LOVE-GOD, US and Canada only, or write to Eckankar. To order Eckankar books online, you can visit eckbooks.org. To receive the spiritual living courses, along with other study benefits, money, money, money. We want to make money, money, money. We don't want to pay tax, but we want to make money, money, money. That's why religion exists. And so that they can control people. You know, apparently you can't have morals without religion or something. So, go to eckankar.org. Click on Engage, then Spiritual Living Courses. You can also call Eckankar at this phone number to enroll, or write to the address above. Attention, student services. Because you're a student of the University of Eckankar, so they can make money! Money, 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 money! You'll notice that they really want to charge you $3 US for this. Money! Money, 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 money! So raise your spiritual IQ. Experience journal. There is more. It is there in one's heart. The full knowing that there is so much more in life. Love, purpose, joy, peace of mind. The question is how to unlock the door to a step up in spiritual awareness. In this journal, there are simple yet powerful tools to find that treasure within. Do you want to begin with dream adventures? Practice becoming the creator of your world? Get an edge on healing from a spiritual perspective? Your choice. Use these techniques to expand your awareness and find divine purpose in every moment of your life. Eckankar, the path of spiritual freedom. Now send us money! Money, 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 money! Send us $75 and join today. So yes, everybody, that is Eckankar, and that is the Raise Your Spiritual IQ Experience Journal. That, again, everyone is supposed to do, and it doesn't matter if you are a child, a youth, a grown adult, an elderly. In fact, you're supposed to do it just over and over and over and over again. As many times as you need to do it until you're basically just doing all these practices just in your everyday life as you're like going through doorways and walking around and doing the dishes. You're singing Hugh in your head all day, you know? Like, that's what you're supposed to do. And then don't forget, on top of whatever religion you're in. So, I thought it was important to speak out about these things today and to also talk about a lot of the propaganda. Because isn't it a little crazy? And you have to admit that 1-800-LOVE-GOD is fucking hilarious.
Discover how past lives, dreams, and soul travel can help you step out of the crowd and master your spiritual destiny. By looking within, you can explore your dreams, past and present relationships, and gain valuable insights to improve the quality of your life every day. If you would like to discover spiritual truth through past lives, dreams, and soul travel, then call 1-800-LOVE-GOD and receive your free copy of Eckankar, Ancient.
After this stream on my community tab, I will post the video in which we actually went over the Eckankar Ancient Wisdom for today, so that you can watch it as well if you're interested. And then you'll know what's in this book that they keep telling you to buy over and over again in this stream.
Wisdom for today, 1-800-LOVE-GOD.
1-800-LOVE-GOD. More like 1-800-JOIN-CULT. But do not join their cult today, please. Do not join it. Don't join it. It's a trap. And although they say that you don't have to change your religion, as we all know, they will eventually try to replace whatever religion or spirituality you do have with theirs. So just, be wary of that. Thank you so much for joining me for this live stream today. That's all I've got for you. I wanted to make this one fun, kind of to the point, have a good little laugh. I felt like it was necessary and needed. I'm going to be releasing a lot more cult videos as the week goes on, so stay tuned for those. Yes, join the Cult of Queen instead. Join my community where you get to learn all of the coercive control tactics, manipulation tactics, and every tactic that can be used against you to make you join these cults. Whether it is a religious cult, political cult, whether it's a commercial cult, or maybe it's just a high control group. And I think soon we're also going to talk about the difference between a high control group and a healthy community. Because there is such thing as a healthy community. And that's why I like Stephen Hassan's influence continuum. Because a lot of the theories and stuff out there kind of make it sound like no matter what, a community will lead to being a cult. And I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that every single community is a cult. I don't want to believe that every single religion is just by default a cult. I think that they form within the religions, but that you can have a belief system and not be in a cult. You can be spiritual and then not be in a cult. I think that's very possible. And I think it's just a good thing to talk about also how there are healthy communities. We've been spending years talking about all the unhealthy, toxic ones and all that stuff. And I think it would be fun to kind of switch this around a little bit as well and talk about, what does a healthy community look like? And I feel like the influence continuum is a really good tool to use in order to do that. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, I'm going to be releasing some articles on deck.com where we're going to talk about why people feel like these belief systems work. Why does chanting and prayer work? And singing you work? What's actually going on with our bodies and with our minds, and that is making us experience this euphoric feeling that we get, and this idea that these practices aren't working when it really is very much a placebo effect. So look for that. I think it's all very important, just to be aware of, even if you are into religion and spirituality. Don't fall under religious psychosis. This is how you can protect yourself from that. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Stay tuned to the community tab. That's where I post everything I'll be doing. Hopefully there'll be one more stream at the end of this week. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you. Please like, subscribe if you haven't yet on your way out. I love all your pieces. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Please do give the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I speak out against multi-level marketing companies, cults, and high control groups, and we dive deep into the tactics that they use. Protect yourself and your mind and subscribe now. Have a lovely day.